77 WABC and Bergen Newbridge Medical Center honor the life of legendary broadcaster and our friend, Ernie Anastas.
Hi, it's Ernie Anastas. You know, your thoughts can affect how you feel. Bergen Newbridge Medical Center is the largest hospital in New Jersey, providing comprehensive, equitable, compassionate, and high-quality emergency inpatient and outpatient medical care, plus mental health services and substance use disorder treatment. The Bergen Newbridge team can address your total health needs in one convenient location. Call 201-225-7130 for an appointment or newbridgehealth.org.
The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Attention Ditto Heads. Attention Bo Scouts.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
It's time for the Soul of Excellence.
He is a radio host here in New York.
The Rush Hour is on the air.
Rush.
Now here's James Golden.
The way that the decision is written, they are unapologetic in trying to say, well, it's okay to play politics with people's right to vote, with their access to the poll. It's okay to play politics. And here's how I think about it. What they are doing is they are backdooring racism behind politics to get to this decision and to justify them what is happening in particular right now in all the southern states. And this is obviously a time for us to fight.
The words do come out of her mouth. The words don't often make sense contrasted with reality. It could be that. I'm not going to... Someone just gave me a visual of what might be going on here. But I don't... No, I don't subscribe to any of that. I don't know. Welcome, my friends, to the Friday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. That, of course, the failed billion-dollar baby, Kamala Harris. Let's put a billion up and let's see how we throw the dice. Maybe she'll be the nominee next time, too. Welcome to the I Can't Believe It's Already Friday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour, fastest hour in American media. We have more. Do me a favor, play that one more time and pause it when I ask you to.
The way that the decision is written, they are unapologetic in trying to say, well, it's okay to play politics with people's right to vote, with their
Pause.
The way that the decision is written is that they're trying to say it's okay to play politics with people's right to vote.
First of all, ladies and gentlemen, no decision by the Supreme Court in recent memory has told people they cannot vote. Period.
To play with their right to vote.
That means something. Those three words actually mean something. A right to vote. Everybody that had a right to vote still has a right to vote. What she's saying makes zero sense. Continue, please.
To the poll, it's okay to play politics. And here's how I think about it. What they are doing is they are backdooring racism behind politics to get to this decision and to justify
Okay,
them.
wait a minute. Stop. What does that mean?
In the way that I think about it, they are backdooring racism behind politics.
What does that mean?
I think she could have said either backdooring politics or behind politics. Backdooring behind, I think, is like a little bit too much. She was trying to make a point, but it ends up being...
What point was she trying to make? Help me.
That they're disguising something, but she went like backdoor and behind politics. I'm like, okay, you said it twice now. Like, okay. Chill.
So they're backdoor. I don't want to talk about backdoor. Oh, stop, James. Don't even. No, we're not going to go there. Stop it, James. Stop it. Okay, so we're not going to backdoor politics behind something, racism. All right, we have a longer version if that one's not excruciating enough. And it was. But still, we have more excruciation from the $1 million baby, the Democrats' hope, the Kamala, she of the word salad clan, That is cut for Kamala Word Salad Harris.
Here's what I would like to also invite. In addition to everything that we know we're going to do in terms of what we have to do to activate, to march, to protest, to speak up, I think that we need an expanded playbook. Okay? And I think there's going to be some risk that we're going to have to assume along with that, but we need to be prepared to be able to handle that. I think that we need an expanded playbook in a way that we invite all ideas, that we have basically, that we say, this is a moment where there are no bad ideas. Stop
right there. We invite your bad ideas because this is a moment where there are no bad ideas. So the more cockamamie bad ideas you come up with, it's okay because they're not bad. Because we need an extended playbook. We have to extend the playbook. And it's going to be risky, but we have to extend the playbook. Okay, let's hear more.
Brainstorm is what I'd like to call it. And in that no bad ideas brainstorm, we talk about...
Hold it! Stop it! This is what she's running on, the No Bad Ideas campaign. We want all your bad ideas. Let's build a playbook on your bad ideas, because the more bad ideas, there's no bad ideas. Let's have all your bad ideas. Let's continue.
Need to do and think about doing around the Electoral College. We talk about the idea of Supreme Court reform, which includes expanding the Supreme Court. We invite a conversation about multi-members districts. We talk about
Stop it! Stop it! WTF is a multi-member district? I've never even heard of that before. What is a multi-member district? You have multi-members holding the same... I've never heard this phrase in American politics. TJ, what is a multi-members district? I expect you to understand what this woman's saying, because I can't finish the rest of the sentence because I will really get in trouble.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
I started to say because... Carlos, what is a multi-member district?
I'm not even from here. How would I know?
Well, I'm from here and I don't know. Yeah, well, oh, shoot, wait a minute. We got a phone thing happening again. I don't know why these people keep calling my phone and why you can hear it and I can't. It's a technological something that happens and I don't understand it. Anyway.
I don't know what they're
Could you just inch it back so we can hear that again? Because I want to make sure I heard that right. A multi-member district. This must be one of her bad ideas, folks. Kamala Harris. Okay, let's see whether we got that right. Yeah, we're searching. We don't want to get too much into the excruciation of it. We just want to wheel it. Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Conversation about multi-members districts.
She said it. Multi-members districts.
We talk about the idea of Supreme Court reform, which includes expanding the Supreme Court. We invite a conversation about multi-members districts. We talk about, that if we win the Senate, which we should and we will, then the Senate Judiciary Committee should have rules that they put in place so when these people come before as nominees to the Supreme Court and lie, that they are held to account and consequence. Not just that somebody goes on cable news and says they lied, but that there are rules in place to actually penalize people for lying to a Senate Judiciary Committee.
Stop it right there. Stop it. So this, I don't even want to call this idiocy because it's beyond idiocy. This woman actually thinks that people are going to put up a rule for the Senate Judiciary Committee that if a Supreme Court nominee says something and then the Democrats get mad with the person later on and say, you lied, then there are going to be rules for the Supreme Court justices or for justices that they get penalized. What's the penalty? You have to pay $1,000 per everything the Democrats say you lie about? You get, what, thrown out of office? What happens to you? And if it happens to you, then what happens to politicians who tell lies? Because if you're going to charge justices and judges with lying to a committee, what happens to the liars that are in Congress? Do their lies go unpunished? This is wholesale stupidity. The idea, I'm not calling her a name. I want to be really clear on that. I'm not calling her a name. I'm saying these ideas that she's putting forth are wholesale, 100% grade A stupidity. They make absolutely no sense. Continue.
We agree that it is right to have ethics rules for Supreme Court justices. And let's put those in place. Let's talk about statehood for Puerto Rico and D.C. These are the things I think that we've got to do. We've got to neutralize these red states from cheating, including blue states expanding their maps. And all of this, I think, look, we got to fight fire with fire. These folks are playing the win.
Okay, let's stop it right here. First of all, Miss Kamala, blue states can't expand their maps anymore because you've already gerrymandered them to the point that Republicans have zero representation in a lot of the Northeast states. Now, if you want to take the one seat that they have in Maryland, okay, take it. What are you going to, you want it? California just maxed out. What are you going to do? Make it illegal to become a Republican? What other blue state do you think you have room in? Do you know how to do math, Kamala Harris? Does anyone ever explain to you what the maps of the country already look like? Because apparently you don't know. This is just bizarre. And they wonder how come no one takes their party or this woman seriously. We gon' do this. We gon' trying to sound all hip and stuff. We gon' do this. Why don't you just say, we finna fix fire with fire, right? We finna do that. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's take a break, please. Thank you. I hope they nominate this woman again. And they put up another $1 billion behind her.
Rush. This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Oh, Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
Carlos, you said, now wait a minute, you said the Kamala press conference sounded like what?
I said that her statements have Sauvignon Blanc written all over it.
I don't understand that reference.
You can take it with with a movement I did of somebody finishing a bottle of wine in the beginning. Yeah.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah, I like Sauvignon Blanc too, but I don't, make statements afterwards.
It's Friday. I want to play something fun, unrelated to politics. I want you to picture this. There's this black dude. He's probably been in jail. I don't know how long. And this guy's been in jail. You could just look at him. He's got that lifer look to him. He's 80. And he still's got this hard look to him. But it's like that old, when you see an old school guy, an OG, and they're just like Yeah. Nothing that you say phases me. Yeah. That kind of OG. So I saw a clip. I don't even know what prison this guy's at, but he was up for parole. And this exchange, for some reason, I found this exchange to be enlightening and amusing at the same time. Again, he's an 80-year-old guy, and they have him up at his parole hearing. Cut 20, and this is part of what it sounded like.
Tell us why you think you deserve parole.
If you're going to give it to me, give it to me. If not, I can go back. I'm not here to debate with y'all or nothing. If you're going to grant me parole, grant it to me. If you're not going to grant it to me, I got 5 months to go. As simple as that.
Well, Mr. Edwards, you make it very difficult to even consider you for parole.
I'm just being straight up. If you're going to grant it to me, grant it to me. If not, I'll go back and I'll finish my time.
I'm not begging, baby. If you're going to bring the parole, bring it. If not, I'll just go finish my time. Yeah, what? I've been in here for 5 months. I could do 5 months standing on my head. You going to bring the parole? Bring it. I ain't begging. Tell me why you think you should be granted parole. Yo, I ain't... Play that again. I'm sorry to keep repeating stuff, but I love this guy.
Tell us why you think you deserve parole.
If you're going to give it to me, give it to me. If not, I can go back. I'm not here to debate with y'all or nothing. If you're going to grant me parole, grant it to me. If you're not going to grant it to me, I got 5 months to go. As simple as that.
Well,
as simple as that.
Mr. Edwards, you make it very difficult to even consider you for parole.
I'm just being straight up. If you're going to grant it to me, grant it to me. If not, I'll go back and I'll finish my time.
Yo, guess that's he's going to finish his time, most likely. We'll be finishing our time, too, but...
The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
Ma'am, there's a lot of money being spent on, reflecting pools, ballrooms, and a memorial arch. What do you make of that?
I think that people can't feed themselves. They're having a hard time affording their groceries. They're having an even harder time in a lot of ways affording their rent and mortgages. And why should this administration, and this president has openly said that he doesn't care or doesn't think about the financial situations of everyday Americans at all, then try to take $1 billion more out of our health care and put that towards a ballroom when people are already struggling. It's just deeply out of touch. I think it's insulting to everyday people who are trying to get by on an honest day's work.
I think it's insulting to everyday people that are just trying to get by in a way. Why should you take $1 billion from people's health care and put it in a reflecting pool?
That, of course, was New York's AOC, the woman literally killed thousands upon thousands of New York jobs when she led the charge, she and the other left-wing radicals in her party, against Amazon opening a warehouse. And now she complains that infrastructure spending on Washington, D.C. is, why should this happen when people are struggling? Oh, well, maybe we should just stop all infrastructure. She voted for the Biden infrastructure package. Remember all that money? No one knows exactly where it went. People were having a hard time then, too. Wow. James Golden. So, this idea that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, right? The president doesn't care about, he says he doesn't care about anybody. Yes. You listen to this rot gut as often as I have to listen to it. After a while, you start to become immune from it. But then sometimes it just really gets... the idea. All of a sudden, she's against infrastructure building. These people have wasted... I remember when Joe Biden, when he was Obama's vice president, they came up with $1 trillion, $784 billion some odd dollars of an infrastructure package that Democrats voted for. And I'm telling you, hard to find where that money went. And then when he was president, they came in with another one of these $1 trillion infrastructure deals. And no one can figure out what happened with the money. And so you get this little congresswoman from New York City who actually killed good-paying jobs coming into New York because she's got a hard-on with Amazon and doesn't like Amazon. She and these other radicals in New York killed job opportunities for people, and she's sitting here complaining. And then there's the one on The View. Boy, so far we've just been playing the women that have been complaining all day long. Who do we open up with? We opened up with Kamala, and then we did this one, this AOC girl, and now the one on The View. Well, we did interrupt it with our parolee, so we did at least get a guy in there. I don't care whether you give me parole or not. Bring it if you're going to bring it. If you ain't going to bring it, it's all right. I'll go back to my cell. I'm 80, Jack. I'll go back to my cell for 5 months. You make it very hard for us to want to give you parole. So what? Whoopi Goldberg from The View, cutting 19. Here's that.
Some things that he didn't seem to care about. He didn't care about Americans' health care when he left the Affordable Care Act subsidies expire. Yeah. He didn't care about American safety when he delayed payment to TSA agents over 40 days. He didn't care about his own supporters' pleas for no more wars when he went into Iran. And now he doesn't care that Americans can't...
Just stop. Let's start over again, and I'm going to pause after each one, please. Just when
Some
ready.
things that he didn't seem to care about. He didn't care about Americans' health care when he left the Affordable Care Act. Yeah.
Stop it. You don't seem to care about Americans' health care. Neither do your Democrat Party. Otherwise, we wouldn't have an Obamacare. Obamacare is not helping most Americans. They can't afford it. They can't afford the premiums. They can't afford to be on it. It helps the insurance companies, Whoopi. You've made insurance companies very wealthy with this Obamacare. It has delivered very little to the American people by way of actual health care provision. But of course, one wouldn't recognize you to do a deeper dive into the facts because that might require you actually read something other than a headline. Or the Democrat talking point memo that gets passed out each day. I don't know. It must be because they all say the same lines. Somebody's got a memo with the talking points, and they distribute it to all these people like Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar. I don't think Joy Reid is on the list because she gets a different set. Hers are race-based talking points that seem to come out of wackadoodle land. But the rest of them get the Democrat talking points. Let's continue with more of the Democrat talking points from Whoopi Goldberg on ABC.
Yeah. He didn't care about American safety when he delayed payment to TSA agents over 40.
Stop it. He didn't delay payments to TSA payment. If you bother to understand politics, which again would require that you actually read something other than your talking points, you would understand that it was the Democrats who caused the shutdown, and they bragged about it. And they caused the shutdown proudly because, Whoopi, you may be ignorant and not know this either, they wanted to reform ICE. In other words, they wanted to stop people from deporting illegal immigrants because the Democrats get their power from illegal immigrants. How do they do that? Well, Whoopi, you would have to read the Constitution, something I don't know whether you've seen or not this lifetime around. But in the Constitution, there's a provision that congressional seats are picked by population. It's a representative republic. Too long to explain that to you, dear whoops. But the bottom line is Democrats get more seats because they have sanctuaries and illegal immigrants like the 11 million that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden flooded the country gives them power. Too much information for you, Whoopi. It's too factual. It's not a Democrat talking point, so you probably cannot absorb it. But let's go on to the next thing.
He didn't care about his own supporters' pleas for no more wars when he went into Iran. And now he doesn't care that Americans can't afford to feed their families. Listen.
Stop it. The Americans can't afford to feed their families? Where were you complaining about this during Biden? Because that's when Biden's reign, when inflation shot up. And people were complaining left and right. No, you didn't, because you don't have to. It's funny when you're concerned about the American people and how hard they are having it. And it's funny when it doesn't bother you and your ilk, meaning Democrats, at all. It never did during the time of Biden. He didn't care about his supporters with no more wars. By the way, the promise was no forever wars, not no more wars, period. And most of his supporters support him taking on Iran. So get a new talking point, Whoopi Goldberg. Why don't you actually try to read something other than Democrat talking points or watch something other than Democrat talking points once in a while? You might sound more informed, but then again, that would defeat the whole objective of your being on the propaganda network for the Democrats, wouldn't it? Moving on. This was delicious. This comes in. What's that now?
There's more on the clip if you want.
Oh, no. I guess. Go ahead.
Nobody wants anybody to have nuclear weapons. I wish none of them had it. But everybody seems to have one. Everybody's got a nuclear weapon. Fortunately for us, no one has pressed the button.
Well, we did.
Well, we pressed the button once.
And we're the only country that has ever used nuclear weapons.
Stop it right there. You got a gaggle of females, and not one of them apparently doesn't know history. We didn't press the button. And by the way, in those days, the button was in the plane, and it wasn't just once. Do you happen to know, you beyond ignorant women on The View, that there were actually 2 strikes on Japan before they surrendered? One, the first was Hiroshima. The second was Nagasaki. And then, so it was twice. And then you go on, well, everybody seems to have a nuke, so that means it's okay for Iran to have a nuke, and everybody doesn't have a nuke, which is the whole point of this. There are nations that should never have a nuke, and Iran is one of them. And then you have the rest of them chiming in like a bunch of little parrot birds. Wow, that's right, but we're the only ones that use the nuke. Why do we do it? To save over 1 million military lives and also save the Japanese population from even greater catastrophe in World War II. These women are I'm kidding. I can't. These people. Stop it. Do we have something else we can just... let's go to something fun. Let's go to Jamie Raskin trying to pick on a 16-year-old boy. And this was amazing. This 16-year-old student was testifying. 16-year-old. And Jamie Raskin decides he wants to pick on him. And listen to the way that this turned out. This was 2 days ago. There was a hearing about Sharia law in the country, and 16-year-old Marco Hunter Lopez, cut 16. Boy, oh boy, check this out.
It's the first original 13 colonies that required a declaration of faith. So I'm not acknowledging that.
Oh, well, wait a second. Now, you're traversing my territory now, Mr. Hunter Lopez. You brought it up. Are you aware that the Constitution of the United States does not establish a religion. It forbids the establishment of religion. Are you aware that it doesn't mention God?
So the Declaration of Independence mentions God 4 times. But what I was going to say...
Is the Declaration of Independence law?
So Declaration of Independence was declaring our independence from the tyranny of England.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to finish is that I'm not, suggesting that we need to go back to taking, tests or saying that you have to acknowledge...
Wait, do you know that Thomas Jefferson was denounced as an infidel who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Because he didn't believe in the establishment of religion, and he and Madison were emphatic about separating church and state. That's the whole glory of our constitutional design in our history, that they rebelled against centuries of religious warfare between the Catholics and the Protestants and witchcraft trials, Inquisition, Holy Crusades. America proclaimed the separation of church and state, what Thomas Jefferson described in his famous letter to the Danbury Baptists as a wall of separation.
That was a letter, not a law.
Okay, so your position is that America is a theocracy?
You didn't let me finish my original statement, and I understand you have limited time, but what I was going to say is I'm not suggesting we need to go back to anything that's in writing, but what I am saying is we need to acknowledge...
Well, I think we should go back to something in writing. I think we should go back to the First Amendment.
Oh, yes, the Constitution,
yes.
Obviously, but what I'm saying is that, how I said original colonies were requiring declaration of faith to run for office. I'm not saying we have
That's
to
why we have
that.
a First Amendment.
What I'm saying is that we do...
That's precisely why Jefferson wrote it.
We do need to acknowledge our Christian heritage in America. That's what I'm trying to...
You can acknowledge whatever heritage you want, but you can't impose an establishment of religion on other people. That's the greatness.
I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm just saying we need to acknowledge our heritage. That's what I'm saying.
Everybody can acknowledge their own heritage. Do you agree with that?
American heritage, not just any heritage, is what I'm saying.
Oh, you don't think that you're allowed to acknowledge your Christian heritage or your Jewish heritage or your Muslim heritage?
I'm saying you members of Congress need to acknowledge American heritage.
Yes, indeed. And you know how we do that? By abiding by the Constitution of the United States, which is why that's exactly where I began. Ms. Tyler, what do you think about this?
Boom. This 16-year-old, even though he tried to bully him, this 16-year-old cleaned Jamie Raskin's clock. Despite the fact that Raskin kept trying to bully a 16-year-old witness. I tell you, these people are just above Snerdley's Rush Hour, fastest hour in American media. Do not, what if you do, disappear from us.
Rush. This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Both Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network. It's the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
Rush. Now, here's James Golden.
Dr. Peter Michaelis, who is America's doctor. He is such a great man. I love this man so much. He texted me during the break regarding Whoopi's comments, Obamacare, blah, 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 blah. And what he said was really simple. People can't afford deductibles. We're talking about Obama. And many doctors and healthcare clinics won't take it, Obamacare, because they get hit with the deductible. And getting a simple scan or certain medications needs pre-certifications and hours of paperwork uncompensated to the doctor's office. This is the nightmare of Obamacare that Whoopi Goldberg just tosses out there. He doesn't care that people don't have Obamacare. Obamacare is a disaster, Whoopi. If you actually spent time investigating something rather than reading the Democrat talking points, you might get hip to some of this stuff. Now, it is time for the clip of the day. I learned something. In the aftermath of that, and we played almost all of the sound clips we could yesterday's entire show on that hearing that they had subcommittee on Immigration Judiciary Committee. Jason Myers, who is the former AG in Virginia, was talking to the chairman of the committee, Representative Tom McClintock. Listen to this exchange. I learned something from this exchange, and it is a profundity.
Mr. Mayoris, we keep hearing from Sheriff Kincaid, among others, that they'd be happy to respond to a federal judicial warrant to honor a detainer request. Well, is a federal judicial warrant possible to obtain in a state crime?
No, it's not, and they know this.
And if deportation is a civil matter, how does one get a federal judicial warrant?
You can. Again, they know this.
So they're basically lying to the public. They're counting on the public not understanding that what they're asking for is legally impossible.
It's legally impossible, yes, Mr. Chair.
Folks, we've been hearing this entire debate from the left saying these ICE are operating illegally because they don't have judicial warrants. Judicial warrants are impossible to get, and they know that. It's just stunning. We're going to have more on this tomorrow, God, well, I hope. Look, we're going to leave it today with two on our songs of the day. One is from Eddie Arnold, and boy, I'll tell you what, he was a great singer. Born in 1918, over 147 songs on Billboard's country charts, more than 85 million records worldwide, passed away in 2008. The other reference today is not a birthday, but it's for the passing of June Carter Cash, who was the second wife of Johnny Cash. And this song that she co-wrote was written about the courtship that they had, June Carter and Johnny Cash. So we leave you today with that. May God bless, protect each and every single one of you, your families, your loved ones. Love and gratitude. My friends, for your being here with me, allowing me to be with you. God willing, we are back early in the morning. And hope you're here, too, for the Saturday morning extravaganza. Starts at 7 a.m. Eastern. Until then, I bid you adieu. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?